To national stories now. The presidential candidates of People's Democratic Party, PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, All Progressives Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and Labour Party, LP, Mr. Peter Obi, yesterday clashed over the same fifth ticket. While Atiku and Obi's campaigns opposed the Muslim ticket of the APC, describing it as divisive and a disaster, the APC countered that the track records of its candidates and the solution-driven and all-inclusive progressive programs they have for Nigerians would prevail. APC added that given the manner Atiku snatched the PDP ticket, contrary to the North-South power-sharing arrangement, he was the divider of Nigeria. Atiku kickstarted the clash when he poo-pooed the Muslim presidential ticket of the APC, saying it was a recipe for disaster. Speaking in Jos at the 2023 Extraordinary General Church Council (GCC) of the Evangelical Church winning all Ekwa, Atiku asked Christians to have confidence in him, adding that they would gain a lot from his administration if elected. Governors of the 36 states have planned to meet with the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, on Thursday over the present withdrawal policy and the redesigned Naira notes. The governors, under the auspices of the Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF) through its spokesperson Abdulrazak Bello Bakindo, in a statement on Tuesday night, said the governors would exchange ideas with Emefiele on the economic and security implications of the current withdrawal policy and Naira redesign. On October 26, 2022, the CBN disclosed its decision to redesign the Naira notes and subsequently directed Nigerians to change their Naira notes from the banks on or before January 31, 2023. Spokesperson Bello Bakindo said the chairman of the NGF, who is the Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambawal, had invited Emefiele to meet with the governors on Thursday at 9 p.m. virtually. And now the Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, on Tuesday said lack of transparency on the part of the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, made the federal government register rival trade unions in the university system. Speaking in his office in Abuja during the presentation of certificates of registration to the Congress of University Academics and the National Association of Medical and Dental Academics, Ngige noted that both unions have been officially gazetted and are therefore entitled to all labor rights as enshrined in the International Trade Unions Constitution. Also, Cornwall President Dr. Niyi Sumonu alleged that the high-handedness of ASU's leadership gave birth to the association, stressing that the era of incessant strikes in the university system was over. He, however, protested the continued remittance of the association members' check-up dues to ASU, asking the minister to intervene to reverse the trend. The national president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Oshudeke, did not immediately respond to inquiries. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says it's leaving no stone unturned in its quest to ensure hitch-free and credible 2023 general election. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu said this when he addressed the press at Chatham House, London, on Tuesday. Yakubu said that INEC was satisfied with the level of its preparation for the election, saying that 11 out of 14 activities scheduled for the election had been accomplished. He, however, said that in spite of extensive preparations, there were still some outstanding issues and challenges of concern, some of which were beyond INEC. Yakubu said that one of the problems had to do with the current security challenges in the country and the possible impact on the election. He said security challenges in many African countries remained source of concern for election managers. He said that violence and threat of violence were major challenges to organizing credible election in 2023. According to him, violence could make deployments for elections difficult, particularly where some of the attacks targeted at the electoral process and participants. Yakubu, however, said the Commission had been working with security agencies and other stakeholders to establish mechanisms to understand, track, and mitigate security challenges. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, says a presidential runoff is a possibility after voters cast their ballot on February 25, 2023 for their preferred candidates. The electoral chief said INEC is prepared to handle a presidential runoff should, in case, no winner emerge after next month's poll for Aso Rock. Yakubu stated this on Tuesday when he discussed the plans of Nigeria's highest electoral body for the forthcoming general elections at a world-leading policy institute and think tank forum, Chatham House, in the United Kingdom. He said INEC had always prepared for the possibility of a presidential runoff in the last 3 elections, and this year's presidential election won't be an exception. He also added that the Commission is not considering the postponement of the presidential poll amid attacks on its offices nationwide. Yakubu said with the amendments to the Constitution, INEC now has 3 weeks between the presidential election date and the runoff date. Poor sanitary hygiene amongst women and the girl child has been attributed as the major cause of life-threatening diseases. These and many more were the focal point of discourse at a symposium organized for secondary school students in Ishei, at agrarian community of Oyo State. The symposium, organized for secondary school girls in the Ishei district of Oyo State, is an attempt to build more confidence in them and inculcate healthy practices that could make their lives more rewarding through the use of quality sanitary materials. Organizers of this event said the major cause of rising infertility and gynecological problems is poor sanitary hygiene. They advised these young girls to adopt healthy practices during their menstrual cycle. Sanitary materials were distributed to the students while wife of the Oyo State Governor, Tamunominini Makinde, who was special guest of honor, lauded the initiative, which she said will produce more healthy women. Stakeholders maintained that they are determined to totally eradicate the feeling of shame by girls about their bodies. They called on more well-meaning Nigerians to take the welfare of the girl child seriously.
If you don't use hygienic sanitary napkins, infection can also flow in. That's infertility that we are talking about. It doesn't just start in one day. It's gradual. If you use shoddy sanitary napkins, that is the cheap ones, they are cheap but deadly. Because at the end of the day, you may end up with secondary infertility or primary infertility and all those other ailments that I just mentioned. Fibroids, ovarian cysts, cervical cancer, and the like.
My desire to build strong women, strong female leaders, healthy female leaders. And we start that by helping with the menstruation hygiene, because most women, they imbibe negative vibes while doing their menstruation. They are not, during their menstruation, they don't have self-confidence because some smell, some they leak, they stain. So we like to help them, teach them how not to leak, to stain during their menstruation.
Infection is 1, 2. The fact that it is durable. You can be on it for a long time and you won't get stained. So for most of these girls, getting their uniform stained is something that will not happen easily if they use this product, and is also healthy for them.
In its effort to address housing deficits in the country, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has continued to deliver affordable houses to Nigerians. 315 housing estate was inaugurated in Katsina State. The housing units located at Kabukawa area of the state capital comprises of 2- and 3-bedroom bungalow. It is part of provision of shelter for middle and low-income workers in Nigeria. Housing estate, the Federal Mortgage Bank is delivering to workers in the country. The houses provided units were provided in Katsina under the National Affordable Housing Delivery Program in partnership with organized labor to facilitate home ownership dream of the union members. The managing director of the bank, represented by Executive Director of Finance and Corporate Services, Zubeida Umar, said the project is the affirmation that the National Housing Scheme is meeting the mandate of providing accessible home to the workers who are major contributors to the scheme.
FMBN has indeed been actively engaged in the construction of many houses in Nigeria, which must be considered when generating statistics for housing deficit in the country.
The successful completion of these housing projects, which I believe will be followed by a transparent process that will enable hundreds of concerned citizens to own their own homes at affordable prices,